begin, be sure to take just a second and share this live stream on whatever social media platform you're watching from. By doing this, we can see that you really care and we'll move your questions and comments to the top. All right, let's get this party started. We look forward to seeing you and your questions and comments on this live episode of the Ask Big Van Show. Thanks for joining us again for another live episode of the Ask Big Van Show. I am your host, Big Van, and we didn't switch. Shoot, kick it over to two. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. We're gonna have a blast. We got a lot of great questions already on our pre-show post, and we have, as always, our wonderful social media producer who is currently filtering through all of your questions. Mazani, there she is. Filtering through your questions you've put on the pre-show post, and she will be filtering through your questions as we go along the evening and deciding which one of those will make the cut. As we've been telling you before, if you want yours to definitely make the cut, if we have time, then make sure that you share this live stream on whatever social media platform you're watching it from, and that way it will tell us that you're a sharer, and Mazani will see that, and she'll say, oh, this person's a sharer. She or he is awesome. And they'll pull your question or comment and put that up. Or she will, and put that up first so that we can all see that you're a sharer. Hey, thanks for joining. And I guess, Mazani, what do you think? You think we're ready to get going? Oh, I have to introduce another person that's in the studio. Who's not in the studio is Sage. He is working again tonight and could not make it on the show. I know you guys are brokenhearted about that. Oh, I just found my thing here. And but who we have back? Intern Eli, let's see, there he is.
Hey guys.
What's up, Eli? Now listen, everybody, this is Eli's last night for a while. He's actually going to Colorado for some schooling stuff and learning how to be a better person and change the world and all that stuff. So pretty rocking information. But he won't be back for a while, but hopefully he'll be back. But tonight's the last night, and but anyways, Mazani, what do you think? You ready to rock and roll with a couple questions?
Let's go ahead and hit it right now. So this one comes from, as soon as it goes on the screen, Jesus. Hit it.
Oh, Mazani's leading us in prayer.
Yeah, I'm going to need it tonight. I'm attempting to put this on the screen as we speak, and it's just not happening.
What is the button? Oh, there you go.
I figured it. You did that?
So you was clicking 13 and it's 12?
I clicked 12 too.
I hit 13.
I hit 13.
We'll
figure it out. We'll get it together. So this one comes from Leah Noble. It's a really good question. I liked it. Is being the cool kid or in the popular crowd during high school beneficial to your future as an adult?
Oh, that's a good question. Being a cool kid or popular kid, basically, does that help you in your future? I would say it could help both ways. It could definitely help you because when you're a cool kid in school, you get to be in a lot more leadership positions, and you get asked to do, lead more groups and stuff like that. And usually you're cool or what happened to my Mazani's clicking on stuff. There we go. Usually you're popular or you're cool a lot of times because you have self-confidence already, and so you naturally have experience in those environments as being a leader, and therefore later in life you can apply a lot of that and it helps you be more successful. But on the flip side, if you're not cool, if you're not one of the popular kids, it doesn't mean that you won't be successful. It actually could help you in other ways, so it's like a lot of kids are motivated by not being that popular guy, and they like or popular girl, and they thrive on that solitude and be able to look really inward and be more creative, and without having all of the pressures and worries that cool kids have to worry about. How are they liked, and are they got enough friends and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So that's what I think. Let us know what you think in the comments. Leah, good question. Thanks for posting it. We appreciate you being a viewer of the show. I noticed you had quite a few questions in the pre-show post, so we look forward to getting as many of those as possible. And share the show if you haven't already, Leah, and everybody else watching. Just share it. Let's get this out there tonight so we can get some viewers and get some good questions, and whatnot. Mazzani, what do you think? You look like you're fighting the power over there.
I'm having issues. That's just all. I'm having issues right now. We'll get it figured out. But as far as his question, I don't say that it's beneficial whatsoever to be the cool kid.
You don't
or
think
popular.
so?
No, it's honestly better to be the loner because you learn how to cope with things and you become stronger for that. And as you get out of school, you just prosper more because you're just so used to making things happen on your own. I see a lot of that with kids and like even young adults who are okay with being alone. Like a lot of them honestly right now are vloggers.
Yeah.
And they're making Superman money. So that's just how I feel personally. And I mean, being the cool kid is good when you're in high school, and that's like usually the peak of their life is when they're the cool kid in high school, and then after that it's just kind of like they just live day by day because that was the best that they've ever felt. It was when they were in high school. That's how I feel. That's my opinion. That's all.
Yeah, well, you were one of the cool kids, though.
No.
Everybody that knew you loved you. Everybody I knew that knew you would say things about how awesome you were. So if you didn't think you were the cool kid, you need to revisit.
Well, then maybe that's why I'm still feeling like high school was my peak then. I'm living the truth.
Oh, my goodness.
So our next question.
Well, hold on before we go to that. Shay, if you don't mind, once we get, I don't know why these are locking on this. Like
I don't know why either.
I stopped messing with it.
You're just going to let Shay pull it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was letting her.
Well, I'm trying to take it off, and it's not highlighted on my. And
But it's highlighted on mine though. But when I click it, it won't work.
I got something. Eli.
Yeah.
Right in the middle under the clock there, or right above the clock, there should be 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. They should say 1, 2, 3, 4. See if number 1 is green. If it is, you need to click it.
It's not.
I wonder what's going on. Our software was giving us a little bit of a problem before we started tonight, so be patient with us. We'll get it worked out. You may need to slide it. May need to pull it and pull up another one. Shay, pull up another overlay, and that may pull that one down. Not working. Is it the pen?
My pen's working pretty fine.
Okay, so the pen's not dead. Use your finger and see if it pulls the overlay down. Weird. Can you pull it down, Eli, with a click with your from the main?
I haven't figured out how yet. I'm clicking it.
Okay. So while we're doing that,
Hey,
maybe we should be talking about something else.
hey, are we? Look on Facebook. Are we still streaming?
I have it put up on my phone.
It's looking good. Let us know how it sounds out there, guys. Hey, sorry about that. We're having technical difficulties trying to figure out this software has been clamming up on us today. I think there was a storm that went through this afternoon. I'm wondering if that affected some of the internet stuff. But we need to see if we can kill this. Let me see that, if you don't mind, just a second, Shay. Let me see that iPad. I'm going to see if I can do some wizardry to it. Maybe smash it with a sledgehammer. Just so you guys know, we do have all kinds of modern technology here. We're going to try, let's see here. And which one is that, 13? All right.
Let's just talk about how technology has innovated so much.
Yeah, we depend on it too much too,
Yeah. We're like, what shall we do?
Oh, I took it off Mazzani. My bad.
That's fine.
Yeah, that is really weird that the overlay's locked on there like that.
Probably my fault.
Yeah. Hey, X out of that right there. Just
Okay.
go ahead and X it up. Maybe that's freezing it.
We're getting it together. It's happening. Whatever it is we're doing, it's happening.
I'll tell you what, Eli,
Yes, sir.
on the where it says social media overlay, right click that. Do you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
It should have opened it up.
Mhm.
The bottom left of that, it says close. Just hit that. There you go.
Oh,
Now
that fixed it.
well, it just closed that whole feed. So
Yeah.
now we can put it back on. So bottom left says input.
Yeah, add input.
Mm-hmm.
This is such a
Then
healthy
from
learning
where?
experience.
Say what?
From where?
Is it giving you a? I'll tell you what, Mazzani. Read the next question, and we'll just do it while we go.
All right, sounds good. So this one comes from Zachary Roberts. He wants to know what's the funniest thing in the Bible.
What do you think it is?
The funniest thing in the Bible, whenever Eve was like, I ate this apple and it made me smart, and I want you to taste it now. And he was like, okay, babe, I'll eat it. That's the funniest thing. Because I would have been like, where'd you get this? Is it poison? You know, I would have questioned her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how? How did you decide? No. Second funniest thing was what, Samson? Samson getting his hair cut off in his sleep. How do you not feel that, sir?
That's not funny.
What? How do you not feel somebody cutting your hair?
You're sleeping hard.
Yeah, right. A heavy sleep.
He must have had an anaphylactic or something. Cause if you were cutting my hair, I'd be like, what you doing? You know? As soon as I hear, how she cut it too? Didn't you have swords then? They didn't have scissors.
I don't think they had scissors.
Yeah, so please explain how he didn't feel her pick his hair up and hack it with a sword like Mulan.
I don't know.
You know, that's funny. That's just funny to me, cause like how you not feel that?
Maybe he woke up like the second cheer to cut it all off. He was like, it's too late already.
So he just cut it all off in one swoop. You think that's your opinion?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Just
that
throwing ideas out there.
that's a good idea. Like honestly, if you wake up, but my thoughts would have been, you know, how much power did his hair really hold? Like, in all actuality, that's funny to me. Like she cut all your hair off and you couldn't swing on her. I mean, I'm not condoning. I'm not condoning that. But that's my first thought. I wake up, my hair cut off. We fighting. Just saying, no, Kurt. You know what I'm saying? And then gonna get him caught up, and then and then he killed himself, didn't he? Technically, when he pulled them pillars down, he technically took his own life.
Yeah.
That's what. But he took everybody with him though, so that's pretty savage. His hair must have grown back 3 inches. So, what's your funniest? You think? What's funny to you?
I don't know. I don't think it's funny at all.
Well, I apologize, Lord, for having an opinion. He knows.
That's just my opinion.
He knows. Nothing. You can't think of one thing that you were just like, wow.
I mean, I think you're right about the whole Eve eating the apple, because I'm not eating that.
It's a
I don't know
fact.
what that is.
Yeah. Where'd you get that from? We ain't never eat these before. What makes you want to eat them now?
Yeah.
That's what I thought when I ate that papaya.
What?
Maybe, now think about it this way. It's the only thing you've never eaten before.
Okay, so this is where we come in. I know I hate to take it to the black people, but listen, if you get a black person and a white person, especially let's take it to the Hollywood in the movies, what's gonna happen? So you're gonna have that one white person that's be like, let's eat the apple, and the black person gonna be like, honey, we don't know what that is. You better eat this watermelon. That was racist.
Well,
That was good.
But you know what I mean? Like, they're going to be like, I'm not eating that apple. I'm not going to touch that. What are you doing? Don't open that door. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. What's yours, Eli? What's your opinion? What's funny to you?
Funniest Bible story.
Yeah.
I think about
Well, funniest thing that happens in the Bible.
I think the funniest part is probably when that night when they took Jesus to imprison him, and then Peter goes out and lops off the guard's ear or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And then Jesus is like, we ain't about that.
Yeah,
out of here.
he's like-
immediately heals the ear.
I'd have been like, cut his ear off. He's just
Go ahead
captured.
while you're at it.
Yeah, he just captured you.
Yeah.
And you over here healing him.
We
Okay.
got it.
I get that. I get what you're saying on that one.
But you don't have the questions.
Oh, everything.
Eli, what about
Yeah,
that
this-
story with
Clammed up on us, didn't it?
Yeah, it
Jezebel?
Okay, I'll tell you what we're gonna
That's a funny one. Jezebel get pushed out the window.
Jezebel.
It wasn't it Jezebel.
Jezebel.
Jezebel, whatever. That, I don't know how to say it. I know it was funny to me when she get pushed out that window. Man, that's funny.
I'm trying to make this somewhat entertaining by being in here too.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Look, we can talk together. Look at that. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
This is
So
not
we're
a
just
good
going to
spot
keep
for me.
beating this same question. Did you have one that you wanted to put in for us to talk about?
Yeah. Well, no, not really.
We can do another question while we're at it.
Yeah,
Why not?
let's do another question.
Okay. See if the. Let's see if the.
Let's see. Let's find a good one. No, that's deep. We definitely need him for that one.
Yeah. we
Yeah.
like find questions like, yeah, Big Van needs to do this.
Yeah. Let's see here.
One. Ooh, do it.
Leah Noble asked, if you had another kid, what would you name him?
Or her.
Or no, it specifically says
Him.
him.
Oh.
And this is actually Samuel, my little brother, so shout out to him. I haven't had a kid yet. So I haven't. I think the first kid.
How many kids do you want to have?
I'm thinking like 3 minimum.
Minimum.
Huh?
Minimum? What's your maximum?
Maybe like 6.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, pop out these names. Let's see what you got.
Pop out these names. I'm thinking of one.
Okay.
I like Jonathan a lot. I think Jonathan's a good name.
Joe Nathan, yeah.
What about you?
I have no kids. My first kid's name, that's a boy, is going to be Randy. After my
Randy?
dad. Yeah. So it's going to be Randy, most definitely.
Good name, good name.
I guess. I get a lot of strife about it, and then I tell people what it's for, and they be like,
People don't name their kids names like that no more.
no, they
They
don't.
want something unique that's
That nobody's never heard, but it's going to be like Randy Jerusalem or something.
Alright, no, that-
Randy
that-
Jerusalem.
Yeah. It's going to be different. I don't know. I wanted to have different names.
Have you heard of those weird names like there was one name I heard, it was Ladasha is how you said it. But here's how you spelled it. L-A, the dash symbol, and then S-H-A.
Literally, the
Ladash.
Ladasha. These people.
I
out
just
here.
feel sorry for the kindergarten teacher that's got to say that. You know?
Kindergarten, the kid has to go through life applications, sign their name, driver's license, everything on that.
Yeah, doing Ladasha. I'm sorry, Melanie. We're having some technical issues right now. Bear with us. We will still provide constant entertainment. Speaking of Ladasha, that just sticks with me. I don't know why. I watch these vloggers, and one of her children's name is their names are weird. That's where I got Jerusalem from. One of her older sons is Jerusalem, and then she's got a son named Shakespeare.
Well, I know a few people named Israel.
Yeah, she's
that's,
got a son named Israel. I love that
not a
name.
common name.
That's
That's
a
a good
beautiful
name,
name. Yeah, but her daughter's names are like Aphrodite and Swear and Cleopatra. Cleo's pretty normal, but Aphrodite, I don't know. I just wouldn't.
What's the nickname for that?
Aphrodite, I guess.
Afro.
Let's hope not. If you had a girl, what would it be?
A girl?
Uh-huh.
Ooh. That's harder. Because I got to think about that. Because I haven't really thought about having a girl. But it could happen. I'm not saying it wouldn't. Good question.
You thinking M names?
M names for a girl.
Mary?
What about that girl that had the? Yeah, Eli, go back over there now.
Okay.
What about that girl that had? There's two of them that are freaking hilarious. One of them was the. Let's see, her name was JKMNOP. That's how they spelled it. JKMNOP. You know how it was pronounced? Noel.
Oh! It took me a long time. I'm there though. I got it.
Are you there?
Yeah,
You
I'm
got
there. Yeah.
Hey, everybody, listen, we're really sorry about that technical difficulty. We are not going to be able to get that fixed. I just finally gave up on it. So we'll get it fixed for next week. We'll go ahead and ask your questions, and we can still see them, but we won't be able to put them on the screen. So sorry about that. Mazani, let's go ahead to another question, and this time we'll just banter about it and won't put it on the screen, and then everybody will just have to have a lot of fun without seeing them. So. Cool.
Absolutely. Let's do it. So this one comes from Kendra King. Shout out Kendra. She wants to know, what is the meaning of loyalty?
Loyalty. Yeah, that's a good question. We were kind of talking about that before as somebody posted on our show once before about the flag, pledging allegiance to the flag, and how they shouldn't, that's ridiculous that you should force kids to pledge allegiance to the flag and all that stuff. And there is some sense in that, but I think loyalty is also kind of like pledging allegiance to something, right? Like if you have loyalty towards your spouse, or loyalty towards a country, or towards a team, or whatever, that's like through thick and thin, you're going to stay with them, no matter what. And I'm going to spin this, since it's my show, I'm going to spin this in the direction I want to, which is loyalty towards our country, towards America. Sonny, why did you... Why is that a problem for you to talk about loyalty about America? What do you think? What do you think that they meant loyalty towards?
People, relationships. I don't think they meant loyalty towards America. Like, really?
Okay, fine. So, like loyalty towards like a spouse, like a husband and spouse relationship.
Yeah, in all relationships, a loyalty is deep rooted in all relationships.
And what's the meaning of it? Mm-hmm. That's what it means. Is when times gets tough, you stick with it. It's like commitment, it's loyalty. Whenever you're out and about and somebody says something bad about your sibling or your spouse or your friend, you're ready to go to blows for them. It's like, I'm loyal. Loyal to the country. Why is there loyalty? Loyalty is a noble thing, except for when we're talking about the country.
What would loyalty, if you're talking about a country, look like? Like, is there a difference? What is the difference?
What? No, loyalty to a country would mean, and this is why I think the Pledge of Allegiance is good to teach kids, because it does teach loyalty towards a country. And so, like my opinion is, it's completely fine for you to be here in this country and not be loyal to America, completely fine. But I'd like to know where you stand on that issue,
Sure.
Because like if we're going to go to war, I want to know you're standing with me or where you stand. If it hits the fan, I want to know what direction the bullets are coming from. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not with me and you're against me, I want to know that before we go out, There's a lot of people in this country now that are not loyal to America, and they say a lot of negative things about the country, and how they're unhappy about the country, and this is not their country, this is not their president, and all that stuff, and that's fine, but I'd like to know that, right? And so I think that's where pledging allegiance comes in. It's like you shouldn't have to force kids to pledge allegiance, but I think it should be an option. I think all kids in schools should have the option to stand up and pledge allegiance if they want to. If they don't want to, they can stay seated. And I think it's good to see who's not pledging allegiance. A lot of people are like, well, you shouldn't force kids to pledge allegiance because then the kids don't want to pledge allegiance, are seated and everybody's going to pick on them because they're not pledging allegiance. I'm like, well, good. Pick on them. They need to be picked on. They need to pledge allegiance, or they need to move their butts out. No, I'm just kidding. That's what everybody says. No, but for real, there's a lot of people in this country. Who's the guy that bombed the World Trade Centers? The bad guy? Osama bin Laden. He lived in this country for a long time. You guys did you know that? He lived in this country and went to school here and all kinds of stuff. He had no loyalty towards America, but I'd like to know that. I'd like to know where these guys are at. They're welcome to come. Everybody's welcome to come. But I just would like to know where your loyalties lie. As far as husband and wife, then I explained that too. I see Shay put the timer up.
He's like, Melanie said the same thing. If people hate our country, why do they stay? Because we don't have enough money from your country to leave.
Ms. Donna, you need to get centered on the camera there too.
Okay. Okay, our next question.
Well, where would you go, Mazzani? If you could leave, where would you go?
Japan.
Japan?
Yeah,
What? Why would you go there?
because they got vending machines for everything. Well, I'm really serious. You should look it up. They're
You
pretty
would go
cool.
to Japan because they have vending machines for everything?
Yeah, pretty much.
But I mean, I don't know much about living in Japan. I wouldn't think it is as good as living here. But
I'm a
whatever.
commodity in Japan.
Are
Ooh,
you?
South Korea. I've changed my mind. South Korea. South Korea. I'd be a supermodel, plus size supermodel right here in
Yeah?
South Korea. Yeah.
I got you.
All right. So we're out of time on this
Oh
question.
yeah, we got to move.
So let's go ahead and we got some more questions coming in.
I probably sparked a hot fire with that one. I'm sorry, y'all.
Did you? It's okay. Yeah, but I already did that Melanie question. Thank you for responding. So we have this question here from Joshua DeLauder.
All right.
He wants to know, a lot of kids getting ready to start college or high school. What's the number one thing they should know?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a real good question. Getting ready. If you're watching this and you're a kid, kid using that word liberally. You could be
Like me.
late teen, or like Eli, yeah, or even a teenager heading into high school. And this is pertinent, I guess, for younger kids, junior high and whatever, but especially high school and college, guys. I'm gonna give you number one secret to success, and that is filtering your friends as you meet them. New people that come into your life on these campuses. Some of these guys are going to be super cool. You're going to like them. You're going to hit it off with them right away. But you got to learn how to filter friends, or else they will completely anchor you down to the bottom of the ocean until you die. That's that's a hyperbole. But the truth is, the Bible is very clear that you will be like the people you hang out with, and so you need to learn how to filter friends. I'm going to give you some pointers on how to do that. One is, have a picture in your mind of what a good friend would be like for you, to like what kind of things, influences they would have on you, and what kind of direction in your life you would like for your friends to take you to, and then create those kind of filters. When you meet somebody, kind of figure out a way to kind of ease into these questions, which are like filters. Think of it like an Amazon search. On the left side of the screen, would be over here for you. On the left side of the screen, you can filter out like by price or by Prime and all that stuff. You can have all these filters, and you choose like these are going to be the things, the criteria that the search results get through in order to become my friend. Does that make sense? So you need to figure out how to filter your friends, because you're going to meet, going into these school situations, a lot of new people, and not all of them are going to be people you want to allow to influence your life. So figure out how to filter them. Like, great example, one of my daughters came home the other day and had a guy with her, a friend, and so I just started filtering him. I didn't know this guy from anybody, so I said, "Hey, what's your situation? Like, both your parents live here?" I asked that question because what was I trying to find out? I wanted to know if this kid had a relationship with both of his parents. And I said, "What's your favorite kind of movies?" And he's like, "This," and I said, "Do you like horror movies?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." And so I was like, "Oh wow, really?" Which, by the way, I don't like horror movies, but I was filtering him. I was like, "Which ones do you like?" He's like, "Texas Chainsaw Massacre," and he's like going through these lists. He's a 15-year-old kid, and I'm like, "Okay, that's a filter. I'm seeing who this kid is, and what that tells me is his parents allow him to, if he's that passionate about movies, horror movies, and he knows that many horror movies and that many parts about it, that allows me to see like what kind of things his parents allow him to see, And so I went through several other filters for him, but the point is, I had a strategic place I was going. I wanted to find out about this kid, what his relationships were with his parents, what his relationship was with God. I asked him about his church and all kinds of things like that. But I didn't ask in a way where he was like I was lecturing, or he was, I was bullet pointing him. I was having a friendly conversation, but it was a purposed filter. And so if you can learn how to do that with people that you meet at these schools and these campuses you go to, it will really totally affect the direction of your success in any endeavor in life, but especially in school. Hope that makes sense. If you got questions about it, be sure to put them in the comments. And Mazzani looks like she's got something she wants to share.
Let me have
with
these 40 seconds. All right. So, in my opinion, this is just for high schoolers. Just so here's a small point. Stop caring so much about what people think and what they want to do, and being in the it crowd, and focus on school. Figure out what you want to do and set a goal and a response to doing that. So don't waste your time. Your time is precious in high school, and don't waste anytime worrying about what somebody thinks. Be your own person. It's going to be so much more fulfilling when you're my age and you look back on the type of person that you were. And when you're in college, focus on your studies. Don't be out here trying to live your best life or keep up with all the fads or all trying to dress nice. And listen, you do not have that money for that stuff. You don't have that money. Do not spend it and don't get no credit cards. That's all.
Yeah, that's true. No credit cards. Bad idea.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks for that input, Mazzani. Hey, everybody, if you have comments about that, put them in the posts below or put them in the comments below. And also, before we go to the next question, if you haven't yet, share this live stream now that we're back up and running. Appreciate you guys being patient with us through that little hiccup a little while back. But share the live stream on whatever platform you're watching this on. And we really appreciate it. And if you will, after the show, we'll put the link to our YouTube channel below. We've got clips from all of our past episodes on YouTube. They're not all up there yet, but we're uploading them constantly. Little clips, little 2-3 minute long clips about different questions that you guys have loved to ask us and hear us talk about. You can see those on YouTube. So go over and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll put the links in that at the end of the show. Mazzani, what we got next?
Our next question comes from Leah Noble. She wants to know, how do you be the cool parent in an attempt to make kids and friends feel comfortable at your house when one of your kids or one of their friends are doing or saying something really stupid?
That's a bad question for me because I am notoriously not the cool parent, although I'm a very loving parent. But I have no problem not being the cool parent. Although I think a lot of my kids' friends think I am cool. But I'm definitely notoriously not trying to be cool. So what I mean is if there's a kid, one of my kids or one of their friends that are way out of line, I will straighten them out real fast. And here's a cool tip for all you parents out there. If you want to strike fear in the hearts of your children, if you're having a hard time getting your kids to obey, and you want a great way of getting instant response, wrap a couple of empty boxes for Christmas. Wrap them and put the kids' names on them. And when they act up, just throw that sucker in the fireplace, man. Just let it burn.
Oh, no.
And they will straighten right up. She's about to have a heart attack. But it's true, man. You tell that, oh, yeah, Jimmy, if you don't straighten up, I'm going to throw this in the fireplace. I warned you. It's a good one. It's a good one.
It's too good. Don't give my mama no ideas. Listen. By the way, guys, I think he is a cool parent.
Well, thank you.
You are. Okay, so we're done with that question. Let's go to the next one. This one comes from Kendall Estes.
All right.
Yeah, she wants to know if you could only watch 3 movies for the rest of your life, which 3 would you pick?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. That's a great question. 3. You can only watch 3 the rest of your life. So, let's see. I would watch. I would have to watch "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" is one of them for me. It's just so classic. It's probably the most quotable movie there is. Let's see. "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou." So I would need like a cool family, warm, fuzzy, family-friendly movie. That would be that one. "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou." I would need like a run and gun, shoot 'em popcorn flick. So I would probably say. Oh man, it's hard. There's so many good ones, but I really. Oh man, that's a hard question. I really like District 9. I know that's. We were just talking about that the other day. I was talking to this guy at church about that the other day. It's just such a well-made movie. It's so crazy. It's really a wild movie. That's probably one of my. I don't know. If I was just running out the door and I had to grab 3 movies, that'd be one of them. And then I would say, oh no, let me back up. I'm taking that back. I don't want District 9. I want Apocalypto. That's probably the one that I would grab. Have you seen that one?
No, my uncle told me to watch it. Everybody keeps
crazy.
telling me to watch it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then, then the other one I would probably grab is Passion of the Christ. If I can only watch 3 movies the rest of my life, that one will constantly bring me back to ground zero. You know what I mean? To what it's all about.
Yes.
That's what I think. Give us in your comments below what you think the 3 movies that you would have to have. If you could only have 3 movies the rest of your life, let us know what those are in the comments below. Mazzani, you want to chime in on what 3 you would have? I bet Eli wants to chime in.
Oh yeah.
I think I can do a couple real fast. The first movie is going to be a burnt DVD so that it can have more. What? You know what I'm saying? So it can just run into the next one. So whatever that's going to run into the next one. But if I really had to like really pick 3, it's going to be, I'm going to go like you. I'm going to go an action one, which is going to be John Wick.
Okay, that's
John
a good
Wick.
action movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
John Wick.
The first one.
This is really
the
fun.
first one.
Okay.
The second one I would want to do is probably like a chick flick and something
Of
sweet.
course.
Probably like The Notebook.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, I'd probably do The Notebook.
the pain.
And then the third one's probably gonna be Dante's Inferno because it always makes me come back. And it's a cartoon.
Oh
That
my
brings
gosh.
me right back to square one. So Dante's Inferno. Those are my
Okay,
3.
fair enough. Fair enough. Eli, what do you think?
So real quick, one funny thing is you named off 2 movies by Mel Gibson, which is the director,
Yeah.
Apocalypto and Passion of Christ. So
2 of his best movies, except for
Yeah.
Braveheart, of course. But I can only take 3. If you give me 10, we'll be here. I would definitely pick out more Mel Gibson movies.
okay, so top 3 movies for me. What would I watch? One of the Star Wars movies because I'm a big fan of them.
Oh yeah,
Probably Revenge of the Sith. I like that one the best.
showing your age, but that's all right. That's fair. That's fair.
I actually had Oh Brother Where Art Thou on my list before you said anything.
Oh really? So you're just gonna come to
I
my
will
house and watch
claim
it?
that one. And third movie, I want to say Forrest Gump, but I already have Oh Brother Where Art Thou.
You gonna be nerding out?
Yeah, I'll say Forrest Gump.
Okay.
Those 3.
Fair enough. Give us your 3 in the comments below. What 3 movies you couldn't live without? And we'd love to hear from you and see those. Mazani, let's go to another question.
Absolutely.
We got 10 seconds left in this one, but we've lost some time there earlier, so let's see if we can catch up on some of these questions that our awesome fans have been posting.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and go to this one. Since we're talking about Apocalypto, I guess this is what this is about. Joshua Delator wants to know how awesome would it be to have a post-apocalypse zombie episode of The Office? Who would be the first to go?
Oh, wow. That's an awesome question. The first one to be eaten on The Office. Kevin, of course. I mean, if you're looking for somebody to eat for sustenance, there you go.
Is he big?
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Okay.
He's a big one. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's an awesome question. I would say Dwight would be the last to die. He'd be the last one eating everybody. He'd probably start off before there was a zombie apocalypse. But yeah, there you go. What you don't even know what the Office. Do you watch The Office, Mazzoni?
No, I only know about Star-Lord.
That's not even on The Office.
He's on there.
No, he's not. He's on Parks and Rec because
That's
that
different.
Oh!
somebody asked a question a couple of weeks ago about Star-Lord versus Dwight, and not Star-Lord. You already messed me up. Andy Dwyer versus Dwight.
Chris Pratt.
Chris
Say
Pratt.
Chris Pratt. You
Okay.
got it both.
But yeah, he's not even on The Office. We're gonna have to get you up to speed watching The Office.
Yep.
I would say Kevin be the first to go in a zombie apocalypse Office episode. So that's my opinion. Let us know in the comments below if you agree or disagree. Josh DeLauder, thanks for asking that question. He's a sharer on the show. Let us know, Josh, what you think would be the proper answer to that since you asked the question. I'd love to hear it.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
In the Passion of the Christ. No, Jack. What if that was what happened? Like, you know, and not in the Passion, but like if in Revelation, like instead it was a zombie apocalypse that we were all judged in. What would you do? Like, what
Like
would
how you ate people?
Huh?
Like we're the zombies?
No, like we were going to be chased by zombies. You can either become a zombie and take the mark. The mark makes you a zombie, or you cannot become a zombie and be chased and be hunted.
Yeah. And kill zombies?
Yeah.
Would we kill zombies?
Yeah, we would kill zombies.
I mean, I wouldn't take the mark. I'd rather be clear-headed, not be like a foggy zombie brain eater. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too. But how are we going to survive, though?
Well, that's the plot of every zombie movie that's ever been written.
I know, but I can't think. Like, if it was for real, I'd probably die.
Yeah, you probably would, honestly. Yeah, I mean, a few. Not many people would survive that kind of thing because we live in such a coddled lifestyle. You know, everything's so soft. Yeah, I'd probably die too. To be honest with you, like I could run for like maybe 2 or 3 blocks from the zombies before they caught up to me.
Blocks. I'm laying in the road. They can have me.
Blake Grice, man, he would survive for sure. I'm just gonna get Blake Grice and bring him over to my house, and then he could just like protect me and my family from the zombies.
I'm going to Jack's.
Jack Simons, yeah.
I'm going to Jack's house.
Or we could go Aaron's. He was on the show a couple weeks ago. Remember, he even talked about being a doomsday prepper. So
Is he really?
yeah.
All right, then we got places. I feel safer already.
Hey, and by the way, there's no point in asking doomsday preppers to put it in the comments how to prep because they don't tell anybody. You just need to know that. So doomsday preppers do not broadcast that they're doomsday preppers. That's why they're going to survive. So we're going to be having live streams and the zombies are going to show up, so Mazani's going to be like, hey, I got like a couple buckets of food over here. Then like everybody's going to die. But anyway.
Next question. This one comes.
What was that? A snort? You snorted?
My laughs are all over the place. I'm like, I got multiple personality syndrome.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Multiple personality laugher syndrome.
Yeah, that. It's like a chameleon. So this question comes from I wonder about this one. This one comes from Letitia Speak. She just wants to know if we have hats, shirts, keychains, anything to help promote the show.
That's a great question. We will. We're working on that actually. Working on mock-ups and getting orders placed and stuff like that. So if you guys want some T-shirts or some different merchandise and stuff like that to put the brand out there, then yeah, stay tuned. We're going to be putting some advertisements about that, and we'll be doing them on our website, askbigvan.com. So yeah, great question. Thank you very much.
Okay. And here we go. This is a good one. This one's from Leah Noble. She wants to know, what advice do you have for your 18-year-old self? What about other young people entering into the adult world?
Why are all these questions like pointed at me? I gotta be honest.
Because yeah. So you think they're aimed at you
They're,
because
like,
you're 18?
One question about a college student, the other about like an 18-year-old advice. I'm 18
Is she trying to get me to give you direct personal advice? Is that what it is?
She is. I think this is her motto. Her what is that? Motive. That's the right word.
Yeah. Advice. What advice would I give for my 18-year-old self?
That would pertain to a young adult today.
I would say eat healthy.
Yes, preach,
Eat
preacher.
healthy. Because like the older you get, and like you can eat unhealthy till you're like 30, and then it really starts to catch up with you. And then when you eat unhealthy till you're 40, it's like carrying bricks in your pockets, and it's really hard to get them out because they're like down in there and they're square and the edges won't come out good, But for real, like I would say, my 18-year-old self, I would say trust the Lord. Give your life to Christ and trust the Lord. Eat healthy. Get enough sleep. That's real crucial. 8 hours a day. Even if people tell you don't need it, and even if you think that you don't need it, your brain needs it to develop. And I would say at 18 years old, start researching money and how to handle it, because you go through your 20s and you're just broke all the time, and it's all a mentality. It's all the way that you think about finances, and so. I would say Dave Ramsey courses and stuff like that. You're never too early to start becoming a good handler of money. That's what I would tell my 18-year-old self. What was the other part of that question?
It just means she just meant
that
like,
it?
yeah,
Okay.
that pertains to today. And you wrapped that all up with a pretty bow and everything. Seriously, if I could travel back in time, I'd smack myself.
You can smack yourself now if you want. You was all serious. Who did she look like when she made that face? You know who she looked like? You seen those two twin brothers, the two black guys that are the conservatives, and they're on Facebook, and they're like comedians, but they always go on these political rants. You know what I'm talking about? Have you not heard of them?
No.
I don't think I've heard of these guys.
Oh, they are hilarious and they're awesome. I love them.
Just share them with us.
Yeah, if you guys know who I'm talking about, tag them in the links, or put some links to their stuff in the comments below, so Mazzani can check them out after the show. But they're hilarious. But anyways, the way you looked right there, that's how that one dude looked. So, anyway, sorry.
Oh, let me tell you what Melanie Pennell just said. She said, "Don't get pregnant."
That's good advice, I've heard.
Or don't get anybody pregnant.
Also good advice.
Not really good advice for me. My advice for my 18-year-old self would be, all that money you're spending on your friends, please put it in your savings account. They're not really your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They can eat at their house.
Yeah, I don't relate to that because I never spend a lot of money on my friends.
I was a giver.
Well, give me
I don't
some.
think there's a lot wrong with giving. I just think you got to be smart about it. Like, know how much you
yes.
have.
Look at you. You already. How old are you?
I read a lot of Dave Ramsey already, so
Oh,
yeah.
You're doing so
Eli
well.
is pushing the Dave Ramsey there.
Yes, you're good.
He's
Yeah, he knows what he's talking
honestly
about.
like the best advice I've ever gotten.
Yeah, if you want to
So,
become financially free.
Well, I mean, the thing is, when you're 18, give me the screen there, Shay. When you're 18, you don't even know what that means, financially free. Like, you don't have any concept yet because you don't have any real bills or responsibilities. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this question. Yeah, that's some good advice. I hope you take it. Let us know in the comments below if you agree or if you have some other advice for 18-year-olds. So go check out the comments to get advice from some of the other viewers that watch the show.
Yeah. And our next question comes from Zachary Roberts. He wants to know what's the biggest problem. Sorry. What? I was just chopping it. What's the biggest problem facing the world? Purely secular. Like, if the answer's not Jesus, what is it? Okay, so what he wants to know is your opinion that isn't the answer Jesus.
Yeah, purely secular means like that's not a religious answer to this question.
That's what it means? I'll have to
Yeah.
Google that later.
Yeah, secular is non-religious, right? So, the biggest problem facing the world that's purely secular. That's a good question. Golly. Would you say I think I would say selfishness. And I don't know how to say. I don't know how that's not I mean, I don't know how to.
That seems pretty secular.
Seems like you could real easily go into the religious realm with that, but people are so selfish in that respect. It's like a lot of the selfishness is so much of this depression. You know, there's so many people that are depressed nowadays, and they're on medicine. It's a hard thing. There's a lot of depressed people. A lot of people watching this show are even medically and clinically depressed. You know, a lot of depression. And now some of the depression, just so you know, if you're watching the show, you're not aware of this, which you probably are, but some depression is really triggered by diet, by what you eat, you know. And you may not even, if you're just now hearing this for the first time, newsflash, go Google that. You can change a lot of your depression and a lot of your symptoms and your problems by your diet. And there's a lot of studies out there right now that talk about depression being changed by diet and changing the chemical balance in your brain through food. So there's that aspect. But then also there's an aspect of thankfulness, you know, and it's hard to be selfish if you're thankful, you know, and it's hard to if you're recognizing what other people have done for you and recognizing other things, it's hard to be selfish. Does that make sense? So I think biggest problem in the world today is selfishness. My mom calls it the kingdom of self. Everybody's living in the kingdom of self rather than living. Oh shoot, I was going to go religious there, so I can't do that.
The Kingdom of Azra. Yeah, I read the book too.
Oh, you are awesome.
Yeah, Eli, we're gonna miss Eli. This is, if you're just tuning in, this is Eli's last show for a while. He's going off to college type thing. And Sage isn't here tonight, so hopefully Sage will be back next week. But Eli will be back maybe, right?
Yeah, it's not like a forever thing.
Yeah.
It's like 3 months and might be back. So
Yeah, we
we'll
might see Eli back. So
Can I give my opinion on this question?
yeah, go ahead.
No.
What are we on time on this question? How are we looking?
Yeah.
Did we start that one over?
No, we
Oh, never mind then.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
so
we're at a
cool.
minute 22.
Cool.
Notice the little time clock, guys. So if you don't like a topic, just got to wait out a minute and 17 seconds. So we're going to something completely different. We have no idea what it is right now. So thanks for being a viewer. Go ahead, Mazzani. Let's hear what your opinion is.
Okay, so my opinion on this is ignorance. I believe that ignorance is bliss, and that's the biggest issue with today, the world today. Because if we were just more educated, and like you said earlier when we were having a conversation, we have the internet and the world at our fingertips. We choose to be ignorant, which I'm now coming to realize that that's one of my faults. And it's one of the biggest things that I see now in the world is that we're just ignorant towards everything, and we don't want to learn. And
Yeah.
every day should be a constant. Like, you should just be always trying to be knowledgeable and always trying to learn, like, especially when it comes to even food itself and, deforestation and things that just even pertain to you, let alone just your mental health and your depression. See, if people knew that food affects their depression, then it would be something that we could combat. But we don't even want to know about that. So, I just think it's ignorance.
Yeah, in 10 seconds, I'm going to tell you, this is the information age. If you have any questions, there's no reason you don't have answers. You can literally Google and YouTube any answer on the planet. And there's good, legitimate answers out there. So, all right, that's it. Let's go to the next question. How are we looking on time, Eli, on the show?
We got about 8 minutes.
Okay,
So-
we got plenty of time, guys. Put your questions in there. Let's move on, Mazzani.
Sounds good. So this question right here comes from Joshua DeLauder, and he wants to know if the Earth is only 6,000 years old, as you claim. Then, that's funny. Then how do you explain dinosaurs and Noah's Ark? Hashtag T-Rex eats Noah. T-Rex eats Noah.
As I claim, like there's Big Fan, and that's it. Big Fan says Earth is 6,000 years old. Everybody else says it's billions of years old. As I claim. Anyway, okay, Josh, great question. Thanks for posting. You guys always ask great questions. The dinosaurs and the Ark question. That's a fair question because scientists, and we grew up reading these textbooks about dinosaurs were here millions of years ago and they died out millions of years ago and all of that stuff. But if the Earth is 6,000 years old, then how do you explain dinosaurs and where do they fit on the Ark? Like, I guess he's poking at me there with the T-Rex eats Noah thing. It's pretty simple, actually, if you think about this. Dinosaurs are reptiles. Reptiles never stop growing. Before the flood, there was a firmament in the heavens, meant like a real thick cloud coverage. So people and dinosaurs and everything lived much longer, hundreds of years actually. And so dinosaurs in hundreds of years grew huge. Alligators before the flood grew huge, 50, 60 feet long. An alligator right now lives 75 to 80 years on average. An alligator in the swamps in Florida this day and age. Today, you can go, and there are scientists and people who tagged alligators that were babies 50 and 75 years ago, and they are still alive, and they're following them around in the Everglades in Florida to this day, and they are still growing. Reptiles never stop growing. So that being said, you have these dinosaurs that were monstrous before the flood, but Noah didn't take monsters and 27-foot tall T-Rexes onto the Ark. That wouldn't make any sense. Noah took little tiny T-Rexes onto the Ark, little lizard T-Rexes, and they died out after the flood. So they got on the Ark after the flood. Noah and all the other animals got off, and then they went out in their habitat, and then like a ostrich ate it or something. So the T-Rexes didn't keep on producing. That's how a lot of animals didn't make it. There were tons of animals. Reptiles and mammals and all kinds of animals that were on the Ark that didn't make it afterwards. So you can just look at that by fossils. So anyways, hope that answers your question, Joshua DeLauder. They didn't take monster T-Rexes that ate everything on the Ark like a horror movie. Trapped on the Ark with a T-Rex.
That sounds like a good movie, actually.
Yeah, it does.
Let's make that.
No, nothing like that, big guy. They were little lizard-sized T-Rexes. Little small, couple-month-old, maybe couple-year-old T-Rexes. And they put them in crates and cages and put them on their shelf. And they lasted the whole time on the Ark, just like all the other animals. By the way, if you haven't done the Ark tour up in Indiana or wherever that is a supposedly life-size replica of the Ark. And I haven't been on it personally, but everybody I know that's been on it says it is freaking amazing. So go check it out. That's a good one.
Is there animals on it?
I think they might have some animals, but they're not the original ones.
I
I mean,
mean,
it was like a pet, but I haven't been on it either.
Then it's not about I think there are animals, like live animals, but it's more like a travel through history type thing, you know, like how the history of the Ark and the Bible and everything line up with scientific proof of the history of a created Earth. Does that make sense? So.
yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go to our next question. If you guys could just take a moment out and share, and like, mainly share, please. I don't see any sharing currently, so if you could just take a moment. Yeah.
Come on, y'all! If you're watching the show, just hit the share button, share it right out there, and all your peoples can see it. That'd be great. Thank you very much.
All right.
All right, let's kick it to another question there.
This question right here comes from Tracy Estes.
What?
And it's stating Abby would
This may be Tracy's first time ever posting a question to this show. Just so you know, thank you for posting the question, Tracy.
Thank you. Abby would like to know if it is still called cannibalism if you eat your own leg.
What? If you eat your own leg, is it cannibalism? Oh my god.
That's a good question.
Why would you ever eat your own leg?
I guess like if it got like it was down like you're the last man on earth, you know, and like you got real hungry, you'd be like, well, I'm gonna be hopping for a while.
If I were the last man on Earth, I'm sure there'd be a lot of food, but I don't think so.
Wow.
Well, what if there wasn't a lot of food? What if it was like a, nuclear apocalypse, and everybody died but you?
I think I'd rather just die. I gotta feel
Yeah, I don't know. Abigail, that's a really cute question, though. Thank you very much for asking it. And Abigail's a young lady that comes up with creativity. I guess it would be called cannibalism because you're a human being eating human flesh, whether it's your own or not. Mazzani disagrees. She don't think that it's cannibalism. What do you think, Mazzani?
Well, the definition I'm reading here of cannibalism, it says the act of consuming another individual of the same species as food. So if you're consuming another individual, if you're eating yourself, it's not really cannibalism. And I would just like to say, if my leg was in one of them little trench things, you know how people cut their leg off to get out? Why
like
would you,
stuck.
Yeah, if you're like stuck and you cut it and you have no food or nothing, you're about to die because you're losing blood, I'm going to eat my foots.
Yeah. So, like, after you've cut your foot off, you got nothing else to eat, might as well eat that.
Yeah, them toes and stuff. I bet
Yeah.
they're delicious.
I don't think I'd do it.
It's just like recycling.
I don't think so.
I don't agree.
You guys are
Okay.
so quick to judge it. Let's put it in a stew.
All right. Listen, we got time for one more question, and then we're going to call it quits on the show tonight. What we got, Mazzani? Pick a good one.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it really was. This one's funny. Leah Noble said, why does Trump have the same hairstyle his entire life?
Because it's working for him, because he's killing with it.
Ooh, I know why. I really
Why?
do.
Why?
Because Bill Gates, Elon Musk, you know how they wear the same outfit?
Yeah.
He wears the same hairstyle. It's a trend. You have to have something that's repetitive, that's easy for you so that you can be successful.
Yeah, I mean, it just works. For him, it works. I saw a show on one of those Apprentice episodes where he, like, pulled his hair up to prove it wasn't a toupee, you know? Showed that it was his real hair and all that stuff. So.
We know it's not a toupee. You can see through it.
But yeah, that's his look, and he's rocking it. Been rocking it forever, so that's his thing. Everybody, most of the time though, older dudes, like after you're 30, 40 years old, you don't really change up your hairstyle a lot. You ain't trying to reinvent the wheel. It's kind of the way you notice that. Like everybody has pretty much the same hairstyle for a while, but
Not us.
no, not ladies. Ladies don't have the same hairstyle for 2 weeks in a row. So there's that. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight on the Ask Big Van show. We're really glad that you're one of our viewers and listeners on the podcast. Thank you very much. We hope that you have a great week coming up. If you come across any really cool questions you'd like to ask, go ahead and post them. You can post them on the show comments from tonight, and we'll pull them next week. Or next week in the middle of the day, on Tuesday, we'll put up like a pre-show post where you can post your pre-show questions and make sure to get them asked on the show tonight or next Tuesday night. If you're one of my children or one of my grandchildren or generations after me, I want to tell you that I'm super in love with you, and I hope that you would love the Lord with all your heart. He has been a friend of mine ever since I was a little small child. I actually don't have a memory in my brain where Jesus was not my friend. So I encourage you to seek him and be friends with him. And if you're not one of my kids or grandkids, generations after me, I hope the same thing for you. I hope you get to know the creator of the universe. God bless you all. Hope you have a great week, and encourage you to share the show and check out our YouTube post we're going to put on the comments below. God bless you. Have a great week. Bye.